tonight with breaking news. Police say that they have made an arrest after a 4-year-old boy was shot in the face yesterday in South Phoenix.
Phoenix police say 29-year-old Joanna Cortez is now in custody for shooting Kasim Sinclair outside of a townhouse near 29th Street in Weir. The boy's family shared these photos with us, saying it's amazing that their son survived. But after undergoing surgery at Valleywise Health in Phoenix, he's now recovering and should be fine.
He's doing good. He's still in shock. He really don't know what's going on too much, but we're taking it day by day. It's still early, still fresh, so it's tragic. It sucks, but I'm just glad my son's still here.
Back to Cortez. She's now facing charges of aggravated assault and discharging a weapon at a residence. Police say their investigation remains active and add that they are not looking for any additional suspects.
We're also following some breaking news out of Utah. Police there say that 2 people are dead and 6 others are injured after a mass shooting outside a Salt Lake City church. Our affiliate KSL is reporting that the shooting happened in the parking lot of an LDS church. Police say that it happened after some sort of fight after a funeral. The shooter remains at large tonight. Of course, we'll continue to follow the very latest developments and have more for you on 12news.com and also tomorrow on Today in AZ.
We're also tracking a weather impact alert tonight as light rain and even some snow is falling in parts of the state. Let's get right to meteorologist Lindsay Riley.
And Lindsay, we've got more on the way tomorrow, including the possibility of some thunderstorms.
Yes, we will see some thunderstorms here in the valley, mainly during the afternoon, beginning at about lunchtime. In the high country, those snowfall rates are really going to pick up. Plus, that storm's going to be a bit colder, so that snow will accumulate more than it did today. This is what's left of storm system number 1. The second one will move in from the Pacific Northwest late tomorrow afternoon. But we're left with a few light showers, mostly across eastern Arizona, and we still can expect some light sprinkles in and around the valley during the overnight. But you can see it's pretty sparse coverage right now. Still some wet roadways out there, nothing severe, but a few light showers possible during the overnight. And then as we pan out, you can see up toward the rim country, we are tracking a little bit of light snow this hour. But generally speaking, all of this is light, moving through Globe and up through the Payson area, and that'll continue through early tomorrow morning. Now here's a look at our rain chances through the overnight, and you can see they start to increase in time for the morning drive. So we rise up to about a 50% chance by 8 a.m. tomorrow, and the coverage will continue to go up, especially during the afternoon with some of those thunderstorms. Up in Flagstaff, you can see much of the overnight's dry, and then those chances for snow really start to go up quickly tomorrow morning. 50% at 8 a.m., 90% by 10 a.m. And further to the east in Show Low, we still will have a few snow showers lingering overnight, 80% at 2 a.m., but it also there will pick up as that second storm system rolls in mid-morning. Mark?
Okay, Linz, thanks. We continue to track the fallout after a deadly confrontation involving ICE agents today in Minneapolis. The video and the aftermath has been seen by millions on social media and has spurred a huge backlash. Many say the woman was trying to get away when she was shot and killed by ICE. Homeland Security maintains it was self-defense because the woman tried to ram the agent with her car.
Tonight, hundreds of people gathered on the streets of Minneapolis. Most of the protesters remain peaceful, but the city remains on edge. Just within the last hour, Minneapolis public schools announced that they will be closed for the rest of the week due to safety concerns.
And tonight, those protests have spread across the country. That includes Phoenix, where community leaders and Valley residents gathered for a vigil.
That's right. 12 News journalist Maria Stops is joining us live outside the ICE field office near Central and McDowell. And Maria, what are the people there saying?
Well, Caribe, they are truly mourning a life that has been lost, but they're also seeking answers and demanding that an immediate investigation into this shooting takes place.
We won't let them! We're here to say we are her friend, and we are in solidarity with her and the people of Minneapolis.
Dozens of neighbors and elected officials holding candles and waving signs reading "Justice for Renee Nicole Good," a 37-year-old Minneapolis mother who lost her life after an ICE agent shot her Wednesday morning.
It is so incredibly heartbreaking that someone lost their life to ICE violence.
Federal sources say Good was a U.S. citizen, and city leaders say she was serving as a legal observer, not the target of any arrest.
It's incredibly unjust, and her death was, uncalled for.
The Department of Homeland Security, however, says Good was a part of a group blocking agents during an immigration operation.
ICE agents repeatedly ordered her to get out of the car and to stop obstructing law enforcement, but she refused to obey their commands.
DHS claims Good attempted to drive her car into ICE agents and says an agent fired in self-defense.
This appears as an attempt to kill or to cause bodily harm to agents, an act of domestic terrorism.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey and other Minnesota officials say that narrative is false, a sentiment shared by many at Wednesday night's vigil, especially after video of the shooting began circulating online.
I saw the video. We've seen enough through the years of police shootings. In this case, I didn't see the threat.
Good's death sparking both grief and action.
We are shaken, but we are not broken.
From Phoenix to Minneapolis, protesters are united in their demand.
We want justice, we want peace.
We want justice, we want peace.
We want ice off our street.
Now, vigils and protests just like this one took place all across the country tonight in places like Seattle and New York City, all in response to the shooting in Minneapolis this morning. We're live in downtown Phoenix. Maria Stubbs, 12 News.
All right, Maria, thanks. New tonight, Navajo County Sheriff's deputies have arrested a woman after a crash that killed a northern Arizona firefighter back in October. Deputies say 21-year-old Kalea Williamson was driving under the influence when she crashed head-on with a motorcycle near Show Low. The man on that motorcycle, 46-year-old Glenn Collins, died at the scene. Collins was a member of the Timber Mesa Fire District. His death came just a month after two of the district's other firefighters died in a crash as well.
A White Mountain Apache tribal police officer is facing federal charges after allegedly sexually abusing 3 people, including a minor, while on duty. FBI agents arrested 42-year-old Carl Eugene Leslie in Canyon Day on the Fort Apache Indian Reservation. That's about 175 miles northeast of Phoenix. Leslie was an officer with the White Mountain Apache Trail Police Department from April of 2007 to June of 2024. That's according to the FBI. He is pictured on the police department's Facebook page several times. Leslie is accused of forcibly raping and kidnapping 2 of the 3 victims. He's also accused of engaging in sexual acts with a 3rd victim by threatening her. The FBI believes that there may be more victims.
Law enforcement officers are entrusted with an immense amount of authority when they take their oath and when they wear the badge, swearing to honorably serve and protect their communities. When they break that oath, when they tarnish that badge, and when they prey upon the vulnerable, the FBI will always be here to help investigate and to ensure those are held accountable, but justice is served for victims.
The FBI is asking anyone with information on any other potential victims to contact them. The number is 1-800-CALL-FBI, or the number there on your screen. You can also submit information online.
Tonight, 12 News has learned that a Glendale police officer was fired following his involvement in a deadly shooting last January. That officer is also being sued by the family. They claim he acted with excessive, unjustified force.
12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra is joining us now in studio with the latest developments in this case. Gabby?
Well, Mark Kriebe, a termination letter from last December states the officer's actions directly resulted in the death of an innocent victim. That officer has been cleared of any criminal prosecution, but family wants him to be held accountable.
A case of apparent mistaken identity led to the fatal shooting of 46-year-old Dylan Seebeck 1 year ago. Family says Seebeck is deeply missed for his huge heart, caring spirit, and humor. In a statement, his brother says, "What upsets us is that what happened to Dylan could happen to anyone. It could have been anyone in the park at that time, and unfortunately, it was my brother." On January 8th, 2025, Glendale police officers responded to Horizon Park looking for an armed man in connection to a domestic violence incident.
Keep your hands on your head. No, hands on your head. Hands on your head. Listen to me, please. Keep your hands. Angelo, hands up. Hands up!
Police body camera video from that night shows officers shouting commands at a man who they believe to be the suspect before shooting several times.
We're code 4, guys. All right, suspect's down.
The man died and was later identified as Seebeck. The suspect officers had been looking for was then found dead in his car from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Attorneys on behalf of Seebeck's family are accusing 2 police officers and the city of Glendale of excessive, unjustified force. A lawsuit claims police failed to properly identify their suspect and waited more than 19 minutes to provide Seebeck with medical attention.
It just seemed completely inappropriate to me.
Anthony Ramirez, a former law enforcement officer and current attorney, isn't associated with this case. He reviewed the incident and tells me he found several factors that appear to support the lawsuit's claims.
All officers should always, conduct themselves with the understanding that, that they're not above the law. We're all subject to rules.
The Peoria Police Department investigated the shooting and turned their findings over to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office, who determined there was no reasonable likelihood of conviction. The Glendale Police Department has since fired Officer Juan Gonzalez for violating policy, stating keeping him as a public safety officer could potentially be a safety risk to our community.
And the attorneys representing Juan Gonzalez told me over the phone today that they did not wish to comment on the lawsuit or termination. In studio, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
All right, Gabby, thank you.